Today, let's talk about sensory overload, which is something that happens to a lot of fibromyalgia patients. Hell, a lot of chronic illness patients too. Sometimes our bodies just have so much stimulation that it starts to revolt, and we become overloaded similarly to like a laptop when it starts to deplete itself or starts to get full on memory. It just decides that it's done working for the day. Sometimes you can feel overheated. Anything that touches you will hurt. Anything from chewing to light to any type of sound is just about to set you off. It can hurt, and we can become very irritated and irritable. During these times, personally, I've snapped. I've become aggressive and quite angry at people, and to be honest, it's not fair to anybody. Not to me, or definitely not to the people that I snap at. So I'm kind of ashamed about that, and I'm learning how to handle it better. And from my own experience, this is what my advice to you is. Firstly, brainstorm. Write down every single time that you can remember of where you've held sensory overload. What was it particular that set it off? Was there a pattern as to how it starts? Can you feel sort of when things are starting to go south, when you can feel like, you know what, it's getting there. This is something that I can feel, like my fingers tingling, or this happens. Is there something that can make you feel better during those times? Would you be able to find one coming next time and help settle before it gets to a more irritable state, before it gets worse? Do a little research on it, and try to find within yourself, and ask your friends and family as to what sort of patterns do you notice in myself and my behavior and how I act and my sensory overload sort of thing. Secondly, talk about it. Be open and honest, and tell your friends, you know what, I'm on sensory overload right now. Or your family, like, going to the grocery store after I've gone to my doctor's appointments, both of them, and going to Aquafit, going to the grocery store is just going to send me on sensory overload. As much as I'd love to go and buy radishes or whatever we need to go buy, I just can't. Being able to talk about it and reminding them that you will in the near future have a day where you're going to experience it, and ways that you can work together as to avoid any mishaps or outbursts or whatever. Also explain to them what it means to have sensory overload, because it's not something that is commonly talked about in my own personal life, so I have a feeling it's not something that happens often in yours as well. Come up with a plan. Your third step should be to, once you've brainstormed and you've talked about it, between you and then that family member or whoever, or even if it just has to be by yourself, come up with a plan. Personally, I had an issue a couple weeks ago where I was on such sensory overload that I went downstairs to find my mom and I couldn't find her. So I decided to write on the whiteboard, just to tell her, like, I couldn't find you, BT dubs, find me, whatever. Because calling just didn't seem really necessary at the time. My mom decided to surprise me by giving me a hug from behind, and I was in so much pain. And I am so ashamed to say that I screamed and I shoved her off of me. It's not my proudest moment by any means necessary. But we came up with a plan the next day as to how to deal with it. That next time, if she wants to hug me, just saying, hey, can I hug you? Or if I'm feeling like I need a hug, then to ask her for one. And on days where I do feel sensory overload, I tell her right away, like, look, today's a really bad day. I can feel it coming on. Just one thing will set me off, and literally everything that touches me or I listen to or I see is going to make me just completely, zombified or in so much pain that I won't be able to move. fourthly, I believe that's four, when it happens, be prepared for where to go. If you are in a fair, for example, and you're starting to feel sensory overload, and you notice that there's a pavilion that is empty, and something that doesn't have a lot of light or noises or flashing anything, that's your safe zone. So that you know, if you feel like that's going to happen, or you may have, for whatever reason, panic attack or anything else of the like, that's your safe zone. That's where you will go, and you make that plan known to whoever's with you that, hey, guys, I'm feeling like shit. I'm feeling awful. I need a backup plan. This is where I'm going to go. So if you can't find me, I'm here. Or if, personally for me, when I'm at the bathroom, I go to like the one bathroom that nobody really uses in the mall, the sort of the isolated area, though even though it's further away, I know that I can take a moment there to sort of collect myself enough that, yes, I feel safe enough to go home now. Yes, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm secure. I'm safe. Everything's going to be okay. And I take a breather, drink some water, and off I go. You know what? After all is said and done, you need to recover. You need to have a plan for your recovery. Make sure that you drink your water, eat something, shower if you need to. Your body is in so much distress, okay, that it is leeching energy out of you. It's trying to turn itself off. That's going to take a lot out of you. You need to be able to replenish that energy. Take a shower, sleep, nourish your body. You need to. You will feel just that much more human afterwards. And again, after, you need to talk about it. Yeah, but Teresa, I'm not a big talker. I don't give a shit. I do not care if you sit in your room and talk to yourself in the mirror at this point. If you need to talk about it, you need to talk about it. You need to get it off of your chest. Look, this is what happens. You know, this is what I need to do for later. It was just too much. I need to come up with a better plan, or I just need to get this off my chest. If you don't have anyone to talk to, that's understandable. Sometimes you can't trust people, and, you know, there are hundreds of free online resources for you to use. I will try to put some in the links below, but I can't. Yeah, I definitely will find some. For websites and phone numbers that you can call, or text or email, or video chat, or not chat, video chat, just regular chat online, and it's very healing. I've used them a couple times, and although it's not perfect, it has helped. And then finally, you know, you gotta come up with how to handle it better next time. Even though you may be great at it 100%, you can still, like 99%, you still have that 1% to sort of make it better. And there's always room for improvement. However, do not get angry with yourself if you cannot get better, because recovery is a long process, and it does not just go up. No. It's like a child's drawing with squiggles everywhere. Sometimes you go up, sometimes you go down, sometimes you're on a roller coaster ride. As long as you remind yourself that, you know what, I'm okay, I'm safe, this is over, this is how I'll handle it better next time, then there's that to look forward to. For those of you who want to sort of follow these steps more, you can look at it on on my blog. I will put a written thing. I'll try to add some more examples of different situations and how to de-escalate or how to get away when it comes to sensory overload of itself, and different techniques that I've used for certain situations. I'd also like you to sort of use, I'll put up a plain template for you to use for yourself. Having a plan just sort of feels more like you have a little bit more of control, and I think that's very important, especially when you have a chronic illness, to feel like you have at least something that you can control when your body refuses to let you be in control. But until then, till next time, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you later next time. Okay, bye!